Well, hello peoples. How are we doing today? It's Blue Boy here. Got another review for you. This time it's on the Katabatic Gear 40L frameless pack that I took and used in Tasmania for a couple of weeks last month in January. So I've had some good miles on it. Packed about 120 kilometers, whatever that is in miles, 80 miles maybe, over 2 weeks with this baby. So I got a pretty good idea about how it went. I'm going to share it with you all today. Stay tuned to find out my 10 likes and only 4 dislikes on this pretty amazing pack. Okay, thanks for sticking with me. Let's get on to the 10 likes about this pack. So, number 1, the first thing I like about this pack, and probably one of the main reasons I bought it, was because of this large, tough, stretch mesh pocket. So this little baby here, it's really big, it's durable, really, it feels like, I don't know, it just feels really tough, and it's got a medium amount or moderate amount of stretch, mainly up there, but and a bit down there, so it's just got the right amount of stretch and it's got the right size. And what I wanted a big pocket for was to pretty much put a wet tent in the front so it could drain out and not sort of get the stuff inside your pack really wet. But it can fit the Flexamid really well, and it could fit like a duplex or, you know, even my Hyperlight mountain gear Ultimid 2 tent in there as well. So it's quite big and it can fit other things as well, like the Z seat. I've got to, you know, often put my rain gear in there or my wind shirt and stuff like that. So yeah, I really like the large, tough stretch mesh pocket. Number 2 feature that I like is on the other side of the pack, this side here, and it is the back panel. This back panel here, it's made out of like a really much higher denier. Can't remember what the denier, maybe 200 denier or something, 500, whatever it is. Back panel, and it goes on the bottom, and it's also sort of slightly up the sides of the pockets of the water bottle pockets there. But I found over the hiking time that I really like that. So it tends to absorb or wick away your sweat much better than DCF. So DCF or Cuban fiber, like on my Z-Pax Nero pack, if you put your back up against that, you just sweat, doesn't breathe, doesn't wick. So yeah, that gets a bit damp and wet, but it's actually much more comfortable on your back as well. So it's tough, and it's more comfortable to manage your own sweat rather than make you sweat with the DCF sort of back. So number 3 feature that I like is this sternum strap. Now this sternum strap clip allows you to connect it with just using one hand. So the female socket of the clip is actually connected directly to this left shoulder pocket. So you don't need to hold it, although you can if you've got it cinched down nicely like that. Then you can just literally lean over and click that in with your right hand. So it's one-handed operation, so it's different. Mostly other sternum straps have got 2 like dangly little bits and you've got to use 2 hands to go click, away you go. But this one only requires you to use one, like that. And there is also a little whistle on the male side of the clip. So I love that. Okay, the 4th feature that I like, and I don't even have it on here at the moment because I don't use it, is the removable hip belt strap. So it's really easy to remove. I didn't realize it when I first got it, it was removable. But it's an ounce, so 28 grams, and it just sort of straps through these little nice sewn in latches, but you just take them off and you don't use them. So I really like that it's removable and that it's easy to put on or off. So yeah, that's good. So the 5th thing that I like about this pack is all of the trekking pole bungee cord attachments. Okay, so there's like multiple ones. Now one that if you have your trekking pole all folded up, you can attach it in through there. And I only discovered that halfway through the 2nd week of my hike down in Tassie. So that's nice. I often have my Montbell one in there, but any other one would work. You can also have it vertically in your side bottle pockets. So you have it up there and it goes up through there and you've got a little attachment cord there so it can hold it. And there's one on each side. Yep. And then finally, it actually, you can use it so that if you have your trekking pole fully deployed and you don't want to like fold it up or break it down, you can run it through there or there and down through there, so it's sort of like a big long pole that goes out under your arm. It's like stow on the go, so like Osprey do. So this one can accommodate that. I don't think it's actually meant for that because there's a couple little latches on the back here, little connectors, but I can use that to keep my pole fully extended under my arm, stow on the go, just like the Osprey system. So I like that as well. So the sixth thing I like about this pack is the water bottle pockets on the side. They're pretty big, and they've got a little cinch in there that allows you to cinch up around there, so tighten up like that. So I've got a water bottle here and an umbrella, but I didn't actually notice these things until way into it because they sort of hide down underneath there, and it was quite loose, and I was a bit, upset that these things were wobbling around a bit, and I had a closer look. It's like, oh, I can cinch that up. So you cinch that up, and it stops it wobbling around. So I also had to attach these little attachments here to help sort of secure things down as well. I wasn't walking with these bottles or this umbrella, but you get the idea. So yeah, if it's a higher thing, then that little strap which I added to it, which had attachments points there, can help keep that side in, coupled with the little cinch there. Okay, the seventh thing that I like about this pack is the magnetic roll top closure system. So this roll top here is pretty big, and instead of having Velcro on there, it's got magnets. So sort of like you close it, you open it. Sounds like opening and closing like the door on a Volkswagen Golf. It's just like got a quality sound to it. Yeah, beautiful. So yeah, there's just a bunch of little magnets in there, and it means that you don't get your clothes, because if it was Velcro on there, your clothes often get caught on there, or your base layers, or your sleeping bag, your down sleeping bag sometimes get caught on there, and yeah, it's just a pain. So you don't have any of that problem anymore. So no snags, and no sort of runs on your clothes. Now the eighth thing that I like about this pack is related to the top here as well, and that is the way everything closes up. So you roll it down and you snap it like that, and then you've got this cord over here that connects to the front mesh pocket. You click that down, and then you cinch it down like that. So it's really nice and tight and succinct, and it works really well. And part and parcel with that is that little handle there. So I just really like the way it closes up, and it sort of cinches down nice, and it keeps it nice and tight and nice and small, and it does it really well. So it's nice, it's tight, it's tidy. I like it. The ninth thing I like about this pack, and I thought I'd better mention something, is the shoulder straps. The strappings are good. They're not super amazing, but they're comfortable, they work, they've got an adequate amount of padding, and they've got a nice sort of shape and line to them. They don't dig in anywhere. So I really didn't notice them on my hike, which means that they're good. So they've got adequate padding. I like how simple and uncluttered they are. Yeah, that's actually what I like the most about it. They're uncluttered, they don't have stuff on there. I put a Z-Pack's shoulder pocket on there, and it just sort of it really actually annoyed me. So I didn't really use heaps of stuff in there. So I normally keep my phone in my pants pocket. So I don't think I'll use it again. I just like nice and clean, so that when you pick the pack up and put it on, you're not got all this stuff dangling around you. That's also I don't like hip belts and hip belt pockets. You just got all this crap everywhere, and you feel like you've got to get into an astronaut suit and lock down and buckle down, and things falling off. So yeah, that's why I don't like all pockets here or on your hip belt and stuff. I just want to get it on your bag, get it on your back, and get walking with minimal fuss. And lastly, the 10th thing I like about this pack is about the materials. Now, I've talked about this back panel here, the materials on your bottom, the back panel and the sort of side pockets are being nice and durable and wicks away sweat, and it's nice and comfortable. But the other main material, which is this blue, beautiful blue, sort of like honeycomb sort of shape or texture, I don't know if you can see that, it seems very durable. So it's had a lot of scuffs and stuff through bush and stuff, and there's no holes, and it seems to be wearing quite well. So it's got good abrasion resistance on all the materials, including the mesh, that sort of thinner, blue, beautiful material on that really strong corduroy material or whatever it is. So that is the 10 things I like about the pack. So let's get on to the dislikes. What don't I like about this pack? Well, there's only 4 things that I can sort of think of at the moment. And the number 1 thing that I don't like about this pack is in regard to the side water bottle pockets. They are a little low. They're nice and big, so they can accommodate like 2 things, like maybe 2 water bottles or like a bottle and an umbrella here or whatever. So they're just big enough, but they're very low. If you've got a taller water bottle, like a smart water bottle, it tends to be too high and it sort of wobbles around. Now, I know that I discovered those cinches in there that helps manage that, which does help manage it. And I then put these little straps along here that if it is a taller item, like a smart water bottle, it can handle it. And the other way to manage it is to have 2 things in there so you don't have just one thing on its own flopping around, because if it's on its own it tends to go like that if it's a shorter water bottle, or even if it's a longer water bottle. If it's shorter it doesn't matter, of course, but if it's longer it sort of, yeah, and then it sticks into your arm. So I worked out a way to manage that, the cinching, the cord strap, and putting, of course, 2 things in there and cinching it all down. But I still didn't like it. It would be nice to have it a little bit higher. The second thing I don't like about this pack, and this is just a bit of a whinge really, is that it's not waterproof. The materials, I believe, are waterproof. This one is, but probably this one here isn't. And then the seams are not sealed. So if it's going to rain, the pack's going to get wet. Now I have dry bags inside there for my sleeping bag and my clothes and the food and all that sort of stuff, but then that's only one level of waterproof protection. When it did rain down in Tasmania, I had put my Z-Pax poncho over myself and my pack, and that did a pretty good job of keeping it dry. But it just sort of, it makes me a little worried that there's no waterproofness in the actual pack. But that's just me being, spoiled, because I've had like DCF or Cuban fiber packs that are seam taped and the material is waterproof, and then it's seam tapes that makes the actual pack pretty much waterproof. So yeah, I know that's just like, it's never going to happen in a pack that's not DCF, but I still don't like that about this pack and any other packs that are not attempting to be waterproof. Well, that ain't waterproof, is it? It's definitely absorbs the water and wicks, like what I was saying. But I wonder if it's going through. And then like this top fabric here, let's see. That looks pretty waterproof, doesn't it? Holy moly. Keep that going for a bit. After it's being rained on. I should probably seal up the bag. I've got it a bit wet, but let's roll it up anyway and see. Wetting it. Do 1,000 roll-ups. And click over like this. And then clicking there. Alright, let's wet it. Now I need to clean this thing actually a bit. There's like dirt on it. There's probably someone. There, a good old wetting. Right, giving it a good rinse, giving it a good wet, and is there any drainage holes in these things? No. So that must be, that's the 5th thing I don't like. No drainage holes down there. So I've got to pour the water out. That sucks a bit. Maybe I'll have to drill a few holes in there or something. Anyway, let's open it up and see if there's water inside, which I imagine there will be. Now this material here looks like it's wetted out, so I wonder if it's dry on the inside. Yeah, it is dry on the inside. Must be, or drier. Yeah, it's dry on the cheeks. Let's see. Does it dry down in here? Ugh. My hands. No, it's wet. Yeah, it's wet on the inside. So this material here definitely is not waterproof. It's just abrasion resistant. None of these seams are obviously taped, so the water's come through this material and the seams. But the light blue material does look like it's polyurethane coated, so that material is waterproof, I think. So yeah, it's going to get wet. Yeah, nice sewing jobs. Pretty good. What, that's on the inside. Those little tabs. I wonder what they're for. Maybe like hanging water bottles or bladders, or who knows. Okay, here we go. The third thing I don't like about this pack is that it was heavier than the stated spec by quite a lot. Once I'd taken the hip belt off, because I thought it was 2 ounces over stated spec, but it was really only a bit over an ounce over stated spec. So this is the large. It should have been 14.5 ounces, but it came in on my scale, I think, for memory, at 15.5 or maybe a little bit more, something like that. So I talked to Aaron at Katabatic, and he checked their latest stock at the time in a green colour one, and they're all bang on spec, but the one that I got, the blue batch run, was a bit over, so he thought it just might be a material, like a batch of material that was a little bit heavier. But he was going to check on the next batch of blues, but I haven't heard from him for a few months. So, Aaron, if you're out there, maybe you can get back to me on that, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm a gram counter and like a ultralight, weenie, so it's the pack's light. It's a couple of grams heavier than stated, but it doesn't really matter. I'm getting to understand that not necessarily get upset about a couple of grams here or there. Overall, your pack's going to be light. And last thing, the fourth thing that I don't like about this pack, and it's partly a thing I do like about this pack, is in relation to the roll top. This bit here, I actually just find it a bit too long and a bit too sort of tedious to like roll down and roll up. I don't know, it just seems long. I mean, big, which is good so you can expand if you have extra stuff. And I also don't like how floppy it is, but again, that's just the material. That's any other material other than DCF, Cuban fiber, or hybrid Cuban fiber, which is what the Z-Pack packs are made out of, and the Hyperlight mountain gear packs are made out of, the light AF packs, all of those other DCF packs. The material is quite stiff, so it's quite like satisfying to roll down and easy, and whereas this is all floppy. So you've really got to be careful and particular about getting your rolls properly, and it's just a little bit, few more moments, but really, what really is a few more moments between friends, between man and his gear. So that's the fourth thing. Overall, I do really like this pack, and it's almost my ideal pack, my ideal frameless pack. So I'm still searching though, and I think I'm going to try a light AF pack next. In DCF, because that looks pretty cool. But I reckon it'll be up between this one and the light AF. I've also got a Nero, the Z-Pack's Nero, so I might do a 3-way frameless pack shootout in the future if I do end up getting a light AF DCF pack and put those 3 up against each other. So, hope you liked my review. Blue Boy out.